Former Arkansas wide receiver Drew Morgan now joins the Morning Rush. Also now the offensive coordinator at Warner High School. Drew, thanks for making some time for us, man. It's game week, brother.
Yeah, man, what's up, time? We'll put together.
Morning, man.
Just as excited as I am. Finally, I'm done watching a bunch of slappies play football, and now we can watch some real ball. SEC.
Oh, man. Man, I want to start with your brother. I mean, he gets named captain. I know you're really excited about that. He goes from walk-on to now where he is now. I mean, last year, Drew, I don't know if you know this, he was the highest graded out defensive player on that team from Pro Football Focus. Has really come along. I know you and your family have always had confidence in him, but when you heard the news that your brother had been named captain for the 2020 football season, what was your initial reaction?
Oh, that's what I did. I called him and I said, "Grant, did you get some news to tell me?" He goes, "Man, Coach Pittman called me and told me I was going to be a captain." And I was like, this I told Grant, I said, "How did you get captain? You're not even that good."
Brotherly love.
That's just brotherly love, man. Yeah. Brotherly love. Yeah. I'm super proud of him, man. I was like, wow. Not only do you represent, your family, and you represent your school and the team, all this other stuff, but now, like, hey, you're representing the state too. I mean, having the C on your chest it just means a little bit more. And I don't know why. I don't know why it does, but it is. And it is just something that it puts you on a pedestal to where you thought you were in the light. Well, now you really are in the light, and you have an influence and an opportunity to lead. And I think, he's a very smart kid. He's been raised very tough. I mean, I would like to say I've added to his toughness, but now he's adding to mine. Yeah. and he's a lot bigger than I am and a lot more tatted up, too. But I'm really proud of him. I was really excited.
So does this mean he gets the promotion to the adult table at Thanksgiving and you're still left at the cardboard table over there eating mac and cheese?
I got demoted. He got promoted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So what you mentioned that toughness. I mean, let's face it. Both you Morgan boys are under 6 foot, not real big. You don't fit the prototypical dimensions of SEC caliber starting captain material football players at this level. Mm-hmm. So what is it in y'all's background that both of you made it to this level? What in your upbringing, going through Greenwood, playing for Rick Jones, what is it that your parents did? How did you both, not just one of you, both of you get to this point?
Well, that's a really good question. I think a lot of it has to do with how you were raised and what we have been faced at such an early age. I'll make it quick, short, and simple. We moved a lot. And my dad said, "Hey, it was, this move is going to build your character. It's going to build your personality." And out of all those moves, we ended up winding up in Greenwood, Arkansas. I was like, "Holy smokes! Okay, here we go." Hey, I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm 12 years old, not knowing what's going on. And we bought in to the program, as we have at every program, and whoever's been the head coach, that's what we've been installed to do, is buy in. And when you buy in, you lead by example. You don't have to really say a whole bunch. When it's your time to speak, you speak. A lot of curveballs and swinging. There's a lot more times, and I'll say that right now. There's been many, many times we have failed. All it takes is that one time to succeed and to take the steps and understand what not to do, rather than what to do. And that it was just the Greenwood way. And we're very thankful that Rick Jones has been able to, develop us and spend time with us individually and just mentor us. It almost is it's at a time right now where it's like, dadgummit, Rick, why are you leaving Greenwood? We're trying to come back and coach for you. And now he's at Missouri. He's like, I can't go coach in Missouri. I got to stay here. And it's one of those things that the next punch rolls, and either you duck and you miss it and you come up with an uppercut, or you take it on the chin and you keep rolling. You go 10 rounds with Mike Tyson. If he wants to go 12, you go 12. It's about the competitive spirit. It's about being tough, not knowing what's going to happen, but going in there confident.
Drew Morgan.
And I think Grant has done that.
Drew Morgan, former Arkansas wide receiver, here with us on the Morning Rush. Drew, you and I have had conversation about Kendall Briles and just kind of, you mentioned buying in. Well, this offense, this quarterback is going to have to buy in to Kendall Briles' offense. You mentioned how important game one against Georgia is for establishing the identity. What do you want to see from Kendall Briles, Felipe Franks, and this offense on Saturday?
Yeah, I want to see them fly around, play simple, play fast, run the ball, throw it horizontally, get the playmaker the ball. And I'll be honest with you, there's a lot of them on that field. There's a lot of them. I wouldn't want to hesitate that Georgia's defense is going to bring pressure early and often, because a lot of people, COVID-19 has been one crazy ride so far. You got people that are out left and right, and you don't know who's out on the other team. But what you can do is go out and fly around and play simple and play fast. Emotions and shifts, after the first two series, once you figure out, hey, this is how they're calling the game defensively. Other than that, it's just, hey, now I know what we got to do to get the job done. I see, just in the past and previous, Kendall scores early and often. I think one thing that, I think Coach Pittman is really good at is making that halftime adjustment, and just sitting in the locker room at halftime with him, right beside him. Obviously, I wasn't an offensive lineman, but I was right there beside him, listening to him, and it was like, wow. And it had, okay, we didn't see that on film, but for 30 minutes and a half, dude, you found that like that? Okay, that's okay. And then, we'd come out second half in Arkansas second half team. And I think that's just kind of what I expect Georgia to do. That's what I expect Kendall to do. You got a new offense. A lot of it was installed and virtual. And I've had to do the same thing, and it's tough. It's probably a little bit easier with college kids than it is high school. But I want to see them play simple, play fast, play downhill. Throw that ball horizontally and let those guys get it and go. We got some dudes out there with some swag, and it feels good to see those guys have that confidence.
Drew, I know you're really excited to watch your brother wearing the C on his chest on Saturday, but is there another player, maybe a wide receiver, maybe an offensive guy, that you're really ecstatic to see take that field at 3 o'clock?
It's not really necessarily an individual player. There's been some guys that I have worked with in the past, just giving them just little hints and details on, if you can perfect this, and this is league stuff that they're doing. And this is talking about the receivers right now. I really just want to see those wideouts go out and ball, because for the past 2 or 3 years, you got guys with talent. It's just like we can't get the ball out to them. It's like, why? Like, come on, just throw in a little hitch route or get them in bunch set and throw a now and just let those guys get out in space, get a little motion jet sweep. And I want to see the wide receivers go out there and talk some smack, have some fun, have some juice to them, because you play off of each other. I see the quarterback go out there and be confident. Don't shake his head after an interception. Don't shake his head after an incompletion. Stay confident, because everybody feeds off of you. Whether you like it or not, you're a leader. And Rakeem, man, just got to stay positive. Positive reinforcement. When adversity hits, on the offensive side, when adversity hits, that is an opportunity for a positive moment. And that's when the defense can go out there and take the ball back, and then we go back and score. You got to look at it as a positive moment at any point in time.
So what do you expect from the defense? What's Grant telling you? I'm going to pump you for information that you're not going to give us, but what do you expect from this defense? What's your brother told you about Barry Odom's style? How are they going to move around? What's this defense going to look like, Drew? What's Grant told you?
They're gonna be physical. They're gonna be playing downhill. Georgia, they run the ball very well. They throw the ball very well. It's a very good team, but what's going to work on our side is the scheme of things, the coaching. He said he's never had a coach that goes in there with a game plan and a strategy to like beat him by 50 points. And it's like, wow, everybody should be playing like that. It's like, really, we're playing to survive, not thrive. And we've got a strategy that's going to help us thrive. And so that's like, wow, pretty freaking cool, man. That's a good way to look at it. Just downhill, fast. Play simple, play fast. Don't make it hard on the kids. I think sometimes coaches over game plan and make it too hard, too difficult where the kids are thinking. And the last thing you want your kids to do is go out there with a lack of confidence in the game plan and think too much and bust something. And it's like, all you really got to do is go for that ball.
Former Razorback Drew Morgan with us here on the Morning Rush. When you've talked to Grant, we've talked to your brother, what's he told you about Ryan Rhodes, his position coach? That's a coach that I think a lot of listeners, a lot of fans are not familiar with yet. He came from the junior college ranks. What's he relayed to you about his position coach?
He loves him. I mean, it's like Grant loves him, but it's Rhodes loving Grant. It was within the first 2 weeks that Coach Rhodes was here in Arkansas, and Grant was getting married, and I guess Grant got off of a plane or something. He just got back in and called me, and he goes, "Dude, guess what?" I was like, "What?" He goes, Coach Rhodes just FaceTimed me and asked. Really, didn't really ask, but he invited himself to my wedding. I was like, "Yeah, you can definitely come." Yeah. I was like, "Really?" Cool. Coach did that? He goes, "Yeah, man, he's freaking cool. Like, he's down to earth. He's laid back. He just wants to be a part of, my life, and I'm going to let him." I was like, "Dude, man, that's awesome." So if that tells you anything about Coach Rhodes' personality, he wants to be involved. He's not going to ask. He's going to say, "Dude, I'm going to be a part of your life whether you like it or not, and I want to help you grow, not necessarily physically on the field, mentally on the field, but I want to help you grow in life as well." And I think he's a great role model for those guys, because I know that he's not the only one, Grant's not the only one that Coach Rhodes is doing that for. I know he's doing that for every single linebacker in that group. And that's really reassuring, especially to those kids mentally with their mental health. After all the changes they've been through, to have someone on staff that really genuinely cares about it. Because in the JUCO world, I never played JUCO, but I've played with guys at JUCO, and they say, "Bro, it is crazy. It's messed up. Blessed to be here." And it's like, you know what? Coach Rhodes realizes, man, it's a blessing to be here. And Coach Pittman does too. And they take every little thing and they just enjoy it. And I think that's part of it. And not just necessarily recruiting, but just in developing your kids' confidence and your mentality. It's just staying alive with your kids. Never letting that relationship snip.
Drew Morgan with us here on the Morning Rush. Drew, you bring up your brother Grant's wedding. You also, I know, are married as well. Tommy and I were joking during the break about fall weddings because I have one coming up during a game. Just your overall take on fall weddings as a football player and a coach now.
It's tough. It's tough because your priorities definitely come into play. And the law of the jungle, your first priority is God and family is second. And then your third is school, and fourth is football, and 5 is everything else. So you got to figure out, well, what's your priority? Is attending a former player's wedding, more important than your football game on Saturday? More important than church on Sunday? More important than your family, eating dinner with them on Thursday night? So in my opinion, I already let some of my guys know, hey, I'm coaching football now. You guys have a fall wedding. Just know that I'm not going to be there. I'm going to be coaching football, and I will send you a gift. And we'll go grab a beer sometime. Yeah.
So who does Warner, Oklahoma play on Friday night?
We play Gore. It is our rival. It's a big game.
Throw out the record books, baby.
We're gonna let it loose a little bit.
What's y'all's record this year?
We're sitting right now at 2-1. First game, first new offense, put 37-0. Second game, we got skunked 37-0. COVID took place on that one. Still no excuses. Played a really big opponent. And then this past week, we got back on track and won 27-7. And this week we go back into Gore. We're home field, homecoming. Woo! It's a little rainy out today. Gotta love it. Beautiful day in the woods. So.
All right.
Hey, Drew, before we let you go, man, can you give us the backstory on this?
When you're not strong,
Mm-hmm.
be your
Okay.
I'll help you carry on.
Drew, I know you were listening the other day when Tommy and I did the Pit Crew song, which was a disaster, and you had a good time, and your vocals are far superior than mine. What's the backstory of you getting up in front of the Miami Dolphins and giving it your all with Lean on Me?
I love it. That's awesome. So you have rookie hazing, right? Well, since Richie Incognito came from Miami, everybody was trying to sue him for all the nasty stuff he was doing. So I guess this year what they were doing was making these rookies get up in front of the team and have to sing and stuff. And oh man, we had some dudes up there and they butchered it, and all these guys were like, "Boo, get up there, you get cut tomorrow." Like they were like making rookies stressful. And I was like, dude, I'm not letting this team down. I was like, I ain't doing it. And the day before I was called up there to sing, Ryan Tannehill tore his knee up completely. And I was like, crap. Well, I was running with the ones because there was a situation with Jarvis going on. I was running with the ones, and me and Tannehill were on the same page, and it was like Brady and Edelman. It was just boom, 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 boom. It was back and forth. We were loving it, and then he tears his ACL. I was like, crap, okay, well, let's come up with a song, because I know I'm going to sing the next couple of days. And it was Lean On Me, Bill Withers. I'm like, all right, here we go. And they called me out there, and I was like, all right, I'm singing this song. And I didn't say much. I was just, your country boy, and I have, your accent. And they're like, oh, we're about to hear some redneck. They all said that. Oh, we're going to hear some redneck playing. I was like, okay, how about this? So I hit him with some gospel or some soul music. It was funny.
Yeah, you laid it down pretty good.
And it was a lot better than, again, my performance and then Tommy and I's duet that we did a little while ago. Drew Morgan, former Razorback wide receiver, offensive coordinator at Warner High School in Oklahoma. Drew, always appreciate talking with you. Happy for your brother getting named captain. And I know you're just excited as us are for Saturday.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Hey, let's go Hogs.
Good luck against Gore.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Y'all have a good one.
All right.
Good stuff from Drew as always. Always like catching up with him. And again, his musical taste, and not just taste, but what's the word?
His vocals.
His vocals, far surpassing ours as far as that goes.